Good morning, everyone. I'm Councilwoman Theresa Mari, and today I am honored to be joined by Dr. Nick Fitterman, President of Huntington Hospital. Dr. Fitterman is a board-certified internal medicine physician, professor of medicine at the Donald and Barbara Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra Northwell, and a longtime leader here in Huntington and Huntington Hospital. With decades of clinical and administrative experience, Dr. Fitterman brings an important medical perspective to today's conversation about overdose emergency response and New York's Good Samaritan law. So, Dr. Fitterman, we know that Good Samaritan laws protect innocent bystanders who try to help in the event of an emergency. When someone witnesses a possible overdose, what are the most important first steps they should take before emergency responders arrive?
Sure. Well, Councilwoman, thank you for having me here and addressing this important topic for our community. First thing, activate the EMS system. Call 911, make sure someone has called 911. Second, if you have Narcan, give it. It's the antidote for opioid overdoses. It is life-saving and it is a very safe medication to administer. Activate 911, activate EMS.
Right.
Give Narcan. Assess the breathing of the victim.
Okay.
If they're not breathing, initiate resuscitative efforts to give them breaths. If they are breathing, turn them on their side in what we call a recovery position and support their head. Patients, or victims, I should say, of overdose may often vomit. So putting them in this recovery position protects them from aspirating or choking on gastric contents.
Well, okay, and that's very good advice. And many people hesitate to call 911 because they're afraid of getting in trouble. Can you explain why calling for help immediately may be the difference between life and death?
Absolutely. So New York State, like many states in this country, have Good Samaritan laws. So if you were participating in the drug use, you will not be prosecuted. If the EMS and police show up and you have drug paraphernalia on you, you are not going to be charged. You are not a drug user, you are a rescuer. Your role has changed. You are rescuing someone's son, daughter, mother, father.
Right, and that's so important for people to know, the fact that they're not going to be prosecuted. I hear all the time, as someone who represents children and dealing with these kinds of cases, that most of the clients are afraid. They're afraid, they run, and they have to know, too, that part of that condition is that they have to call 911, correct?
Yes.
If they don't call 911, then there could be a
Yes.
problem. So New York's 911 Good Samaritan law offers certain protections for people who seek emergency
Correct.
overdose from a medical standpoint. And why is it so important that people know that this law exists? Why, in your opinion, is it that important?
You know, as I said, they are not themselves a victim of a disease of addiction at this point. They have now pivoted to become a rescuer. And they are rescuing their friend, they are rescuing someone's son, daughter, mother, father. And if they leave, they could have potentially administered life-saving care.
And what are some of the warning signs that someone may be experiencing an overdose, an opioid overdose? And when should the bystander administer the Narcan? Immediately, or should they wait?
Right.
What should they do?
So some of the signs of opioid overdose are they'll be unresponsive or poorly responsive.
Okay.
Breathing may be diminished, shallow, slow breaths, or even stop breathing. Pupils may be pinpoint. But the rescuer does not need to feel they need to be a physician. If there's any doubt and you have Narcan, give it. It's a safe drug. You may save someone's life.
And Narcan training is available in different places too, isn't that right?
It is, and Narcan is available over the counter without a prescription in every state in this country.
Narcan can be administered in different ways, right, doctor? How can it be administered so people know?
It can be administered through an injection, intravenously, but what's widely available to all public is intranasally, through the nose. You can go to your pharmacy without a prescription and get intranasal Narcan. And the way to administer is simply insert it into a nostril and squirt once. And 4 milligrams of naloxone will be delivered.
Are they able to administer the Narcan through the nasal cavity even if the person's not breathing, or do they have to be breathing? Okay.
Yes, it'll be absorbed through the membranes in the nose, and it will take 2 or 3 minutes to work, which is another reason why they should stay with the victim while waiting for other rescuers, waiting for EMS to come.
Okay. And what message would you give to families, young people or friends that might find themselves in this kind of a situation, you know, calling 911, what else would you give? What other information would you give them? I know you already talked about Narcan, turning them on their side. Is there anything else that you would impart as important information?
Yeah, a couple important points. That is, the Narcan takes 2 to 3 minutes to work, so you want to stay with the victim, administer rescue breaths if they're not breathing on their own.
Okay.
But it can wear off before the opioid is metabolized.
Oh, okay.
So a second dose may need to be administered if it takes a while for rescue services to arrive. So stay with them, continue to monitor the victim. If their breathing should stop again, administer a second dose. So that'd be number one. Number two, they have a social responsibility to save a life, because one day it could be them, and they'll want a rescuer to help them.
And would you say that, you know, especially in today's world with drugs being such a problem, that it would be important for people generally to have Narcan accessible? It sounds so odd to me to be someone to say have Narcan.
Yes.
But is it a good idea to have it accessible, especially if you're in a young person in a crowd that you know where people are using drugs?
Absolutely, absolutely. Everyone should have it in their car, in their home. Sorry to say, kids at college should have it.
Yeah, I agree.
One other point I did want to make, and that is why a rescuer should stay with the victim till EMS arrives, is there can be other drugs besides opioids that victim ingested knowingly or unknowingly that may not respond to Narcan.
Oh, okay.
And therefore they can be there, again, to protect an airway or administer life-saving breaths and CPR if necessary.
Well, Dr. Fitterman, thank you so much for coming today to talk to us about this. It's such important information for our community, and I really thank you for spending the time.
Thank you for shining a light on this important topic.
Thank you.